The characters are about to have faces. All right. This message is about you having to zoom out from the storm, and the storm is chaos, right? The storm is things that appear to be disorderly. I'm hearing I'm kind of like mumbled jumbled in your third dimensional reality. So these are things that are unpredictable. It's things that are out of your control. In regards to, I'm hearing who it's more than a summoning. I'm hearing like who presents themselves to you in your reality, because I'm seeing somebody walk a path and different characters begin to surface and reveal themselves to you. I'm hearing each embodying an opportunity for soul growth and seeing different invitations. So this is like invitations I'm hearing to transverse down new timelines, opportunities that lead to new timelines for you as well. But they require you to be receptive. Okay, I'm hearing this is about exchanges coming into reality, and also the way that you exchange your life force as a soul as you interact not just merely with this matrix, but you become the outsider that's seeing the cosmos within it, right? Not to escape the illusions of this world, but to see it clearly. And the message was, right, to see through the illusions clearly. And this is about appearing separate only in illusion. Okay. And this is source playing with itself through its own creation, infinite fractals of awareness, some conscious, some not. But this is I'm hearing all mannerisms, all interactions, all exchanges with different reflections, extensions, and refractions of yourself. So there's a lot that's coming through right now, but the about to have faces, and I'm hearing places. So the characters are about to have places in your life. Now we're going to talk about this, right? Oh, that was so much. Okay, zoom out enough. Okay, zoom out enough so that the storm becomes a speck. What does that mean? It means that you see the cosmos in the secret ordering to what may appear to be disorderly to the human's eyes, but from the lens of the soul, you understand your interconnectedness to all things, and how I'm hearing you will intersect with certain characters at different stages in your journeys throughout space and time that will assist you with this next stage of evolution. Now, the first message we have is Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a soul family card, right? So this is about extensions of your, I'm hearing branches specifically. So this is networks of a tree of soul family. Right, Four of Wands is also a reunion, right? It's like I'm reunifying with this part of myself. I'm remembering. It's also a celebration, and this is things becoming tangible. This is one card ahead of the Three of Wands. So this is quantum entanglement. When we talk about the Three of Wands, it's things and people playing into your experience based off of resonance. It's also about the law of attraction too, and this is something that is literally collapsing into our reality as we speak. This is physical meetings, it's physical opportunities, it's physical alignments, it's well-aligned collisions, it's being at the same time and space, in the same space and time as certain characters of yourself. And I'm hearing the different characters that you're experiencing yourself through, but you're about to experience it through your subjective eyes, right? So yeah. And then you have Steady Stream. Steady Stream talks about just going with the flow, right? Just going with the flow. This is about a sequence of events. I feel like it's more than one person that you're going to be meeting, because I was hearing people, so this is plural. It's plural spirits saying multiple opportunities, multiple alignments. I'm hearing that lead to major expansion for you, not just etherically, but translating again into tangible growth. Now, you also have the Land of Milk and Honey. The Land of Milk and Honey is literally a very, very auspicious card. It's the most auspicious card in the deck. It talks about frameworks of thinking. It talks about experiencing heaven on earth, if you will, heaven being a plane of consciousness, and again, realizing that you are orchestrating these events for yourself in a higher level. And if you zoom out far enough, you'll see that. So just go with the flow. The Steady Stream sweeps towards the place where the energy flows, goes like a tidal force through the ocean. These are groups of stars, and I feel like, again, with the Four of Wands, there's almost like a star family energy, right? Hukuhana, aloha, hukuhana. Right, so this talks about you can't basically see which way they're gonna go because of where the wind's blowing, and there's nothing that you can do to stop it, right? There's nothing that you can do. I'm hearing even if you try to like isolate yourself, I'm seeing somebody go completely off grid, there's still gonna be characters that, you know, knock at your door, And these are like, it's like you can't escape yourself, right? It's like you can't escape all forms of yourself. That's the energy that's coming through. All you can see is like illusion, and we're going to talk about this, right? The only thing that can resist it is resistance. So it feels like someone or something's going to be knocking at your door. You don't have to answer the door, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to, I'm hearing, it doesn't mean that it's going to go away. It doesn't mean that the knock is going to stop. And this feels like a judgment card kind of energy. So this is things that you're being called to do. And I'm hearing certain people are just going to be aligned with that path, and certain ones won't. And this is again about certain extensions, and it feels like there's a filtration system that's happening where there's new people that are going to be filtering into this timeline for you. That's almost what it feels like, right? New opportunities that are going to be filtered through. I'm hearing even people and circumstances. All right. Anyway, by surrendering to what is, it will mean that we will inevitably go with the stellar stream that corresponds to our own evolution. So again, this is going to be happening for the highest good of all. It goes beyond our subjective journey. All subjectives make up the whole objective, right? And there's a need to kind of see this from a higher level of awareness, open up, right, your filter perception and view things from a higher universal truth, and open up the frameworks in which you view this reality through. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you guys a story today. But yeah, this happens when we give up. We know that the wind may take us somewhere that our mind doesn't want to go, and the mind likes control. And that reminds me of a very pivotal time in my life where I was like, universe, take my life and do with it what you will, right? It was a moment of just complete and utter surrender. And it was in that surrender that the universe is very smart. Okay, this is about you existing within this self-organized system. And the way that this construct is designed to, I'm hearing, assist you in ways the human cannot fully see. Okay? And we're going to talk about this. So yeah, this could be like you asking for a form of abundance, but you don't realize that someone entering into reality holds the key to that, right? That's almost the energy that's coming through. So I'm hearing, it feels like there's an earth angel in disguise as a very specific message. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, so thereby some may entertain angels unaware. I'm going to say that one more time. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some may entertain angels unaware. Now, when we talk about our interconnectedness to all things, this is about you facilitating yourself with something through the form of another, appearing only in illusion under separation. So this is about you literally blessing yourself in some way through other versions of yourself, through other opportunities. Everything is conscious. I want you to see it as this right now. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. I hope that this helps at least one person. I was never really going to tell anyone this. I haven't told anyone. I spoke to one person about this quite briefly. And no one else knows this, just like this one person, right? And now everyone's about to know. But it's a very important story because, well, basically I've been not forced, but very like pushed to kind of share this because like the other night I couldn't go to sleep, right? I just couldn't fall asleep. It was like 3-4 a.m. and I kept getting this download in regards to you have to say it, it links in, it feeds in. And I wasn't sure why until I started actually writing this down, and the downloads that were coming through, I was like, okay, I see how it can shift the frameworks that someone views reality through, and it allows you to go into altered states of consciousness. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. Now, this is a story of how I lost my vision, but also how I gained it back, and I found a new kind of sight in that process. So I almost I had temporary blindness. Okay, I had absolutely perfect vision, and then an event happened that caused damage to my retina, and I was blind pretty much. Nobody knew this. I was still doing personal reads. I would say about 50-60%. maybe even more, to be honest with you. I could only see through my peripheral vision. I couldn't see anything in front of me. Everything was invisible. During this time, I was like transversing through airports. I couldn't see anything on the screen. I felt like I was in a complete dream, and I couldn't see anyone's face. Specifically, like the middle, when you have the retina, like you just see like this circular blank spot, right? It's like all this part here is like invisible. So when I was like talking to people and trying to look at them, I couldn't see a face. And this gave me the title for this message. And the first message that this came through, like this was from literally 0, 1, about things falling into alignment, people falling into alignment into your life. And it happened all the way until like 4, 5 a.m. until I finished this like message. I was like really deep into meditation, and the characters now have faces in your story. So this is energies I'm hearing that you're tuning into. It's like essences that you're tuning into, and the form is about to reveal itself to you. But you've gotten to know this essence so well that there's a level of like, with four of wands, again, it's soul family. There's a level of recognition. There's a level of, oh, I see you, right? The light that I see within you, you also see within me. It also exists within us as all children of light, right? Sourced from the same wisdom, learning to return to that wisdom once again, each having a part to play in the cosmos, each having a part to play in the cycle. This is a dance that we're doing, right, to assist. And in that time, the faces around me completely disappeared, right? Like I couldn't see anyone, I couldn't see anything. I was literally reading during this time in my life through my peripheral vision, trying to do personal reads for like birth charts. Nobody knew I was still doing readings for the channel. This happened during a time where I was in Spain. I didn't tell a soul. I didn't even tell my family. And like no one, like it was like my secret. And I'll tell you the reason why I didn't tell anyone, okay? But they became invisible, right? Everything became unformed during that time. I couldn't really even look at my phone for long periods of time. I would get headaches. So I was kind of just left with my thoughts. There was nowhere to really turn or distract yourself externally, but turn inwards. And I know that I'm a self-sustaining organism, right? As we all are, self-generating, healing, okay? And my other senses began to awaken. As I lost my sight, my hearing got louder. As I lost my sight, my sense of clear knowing, clairsentience, it became so loud. I knew I was going to recover from this. I knew I was going to recover from this. And that clear knowing never left, even as I regained my sight back. And when my vision did return, I could do far more than just see. I was foreseeing what I could already know, right? What I already knew deep down within myself. And I wasn't just guessing, but I was remembering, right? I was remembering the story of how I would gain my sight back. I was remembering that I would experience in the physical something that I was foreseeing, which was the healed version of myself, the version of myself that made a full recovery, but also brought something back on the other side of this. And I was sifting right through these infinite fractals of myself in meditation, each at a choice point, even in the astral realm during that time. That's the only place that I could really see, right? The things that I was looking at. And then I remember that this was a dream, and this was going to be a temporary construct. It was going to be something that would take time, right? Because we experience this through space and time, which is that lag time, right? There was going to be distance between these two events, okay? Or the illusion of distance between these two events, where I would experience the linear unfoldment of rejuvenating myself, of regenerating my vision, right? And my cells on a cellular level, and to make that full recovery. I knew that there was going to be that brief in between, that space and time. There was more change that had to occur down the timeline before that happened. But I knew that a part of me felt like this could be the end, right? Felt like in that moment it was very humbling, because again, I never experienced issues with my vision before. And it was very humbling, because uh, it felt like the soul that has come here to experience a profound level of growth almost had something happen with the avatar in the physical. And it felt like I had never been so connected with this avatar before. And there was a level of surrender and acceptance in regards to this. Or it would become the moment where it would launch me into unimaginable expansion when it comes to my vision. And your perception creates your reality. That was something that I decided in that moment. The way that I was going to perceive this would completely change the way that I would experience it, and also the destiny in which I would align with. In the multiverse is a version of me that never recovered her vision, but I was a vibrational match because I embody this clear knowing, something that had already came to be, but I was going to witness the becoming of it in a linear fashion. I was already the healed version of myself, experiencing my own journey of recovery, experiencing my own journey of becoming whole once again, right? With my vision, with the most importantly, recovery of the vision of the soul, right? To look at life through the lens of the soul. And in reality, in turn, reality literally just dances as a reflection to mirror your own internal perception. So I chose in that moment to become a vibrational match, not just to become it, but to, again, completely embody the version of myself that was already healed. And I knew that I was that future version of myself, but I was going back in time to experience the unfoldment of that. And it wasn't someone that I was striving to become. I already knew that she existed within me. I just had to attune into her like a radio station. I was her. I was simply walking back through time to witness the lessons I had encoded into the journey, because I knew within that illusion of separation and distance, there was going to be a lot that I would discover along the path. And this reminds me of the quote of those who are narrow will not be wide of heart, right? And this experience was a conscious teacher. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because this is interwoven, okay? It seamlessly blends and weaves into this message. Conscious teachers, whether they be experiences, whether they be, people that you have experiences with, opportunities, circumstances, everything is a conscious teacher. Consciousness is extremely intelligent. It supplies us and facilitates us with what it is that we need and whatever stage in our evolution journey that we're at. And, I could, again, only see through the edges. I could only see through my peripheral. And it forced me to open up my heart. I had to see life through the heart. When you look at life through your biggest filter of perception being the heart chakra, this chakra is then projected into this energetic, multidimensional sphere around your body. And it extends far beyond the anatomical vessel. And it becomes the way that you see life. It becomes the way that you navigate through life. And what is it? It's your interconnectedness to all things. Okay? It's your interconnectedness to all things, to people, to opportunities, to you facilitating yourself with conscious teachers, right? Conscious experiences. And it's witnessing that thread. Okay, it's witnessing the thread. And sometimes life teaches you to release the need to control. And that's like a huge one that's been coming up. Because when your inner world feels out of control, the ego will try to micromanage the external, right? And you cannot tape butterfly wings on a caterpillar and expect it to fly. The change must come from within. So you must surrender. And the energy that was coming through is surrendering to this next stage of natural evolution. Sorry guys, I had to just sort out the audio with the microphone, but we're back. But yeah, this is about where you learn to respect the sovereignty of each individual snowflake, right? Each individual snowflake actually holds a very specific geometrical architecture and structure, and this is about very specific energetic signatures and the way that each fractal of awareness holds this truth, holds this level of light within their vessel, holds this level of consciousness. And whether that, most importantly, fractal of awareness is conscious of itself and conscious with its interconnectedness to all things in this experience, and where it may try to divide itself in an effort to protect itself, okay? I'm seeing the Seven of Wands in a way where there's a self-preservation energy, okay? And it's being aware of where the ego may try to preserve itself through the separation of illusion and saying, I'm hearing and blaming, okay? He who blames the other is very lost in this existence. He who blames himself is about halfway there. He who blames no one has arrived. And there's a level of seeing yourself in the other, seeing the lessons that you've taught yourself through other people and extensions, right? And mirrored reflections of yourself, and how they're literally, it's a refraction mechanism where you're projecting certain people and circumstances into your experience, certain energetic signatures into your experience. Again, each individual as a snowflake. And this is knowing that you kind of send yourself this other facet of yourself, right? Life sends you this facet of yourself to teach you how to let go, right? Sometimes it's to remind you that nothing truly belongs to you, right? So when I was blind, it's kind of ironic because I could never really see so clearly until that point. And it's because when I began to see through the veil and through the illusion of separation that I saw again. The difference is that now the characters have faces, okay? And even those faces wear masks. This was like the end result of this message. Behind every mask is an energy. And in essence, all that energy is you. All that energy is source playing with itself through its own creation. When we come back into that heart space, it widens your vision. Big of heart, also become big of vision. And they see life through much more than just the peripheral. They see life through the center, the core essence. They see the light within them is also existing within others. And that opens up your crown chakra, opens up your direct connection to your upper dantian, to your higher self in physical form, which sees everyone else as light beings. And you playing with yourself in your own light, right? In your own creation, in this conscious, energetic simulation that you're existing in. And it's like, you ask for courage. Well, you gave yourself fear to overcome. You asked for wisdom and you offered yourself the hardships, right? So that you could begin to sculpt it through this experience. So it's not that you would just gather wisdom, that you would become wise yourself, right? It's about the embodiment for a deeper intuition. Well, you place yourself at a crossroads so that you could see that you already had the answer within you. It's been within you all along. And, this is about really, the whole purpose of me actually sharing this is because there are certain constellations, okay, certain networks that are going to be revealing themselves to you. And it's about self trust. I remember during that time seeking external acceptance, I knew I was going to be a witness to how far his life come. I knew that this was actually going to be my testimony, but not even one to be shared. I never planned to share this. Um, just like a lot of things in my life, right? But I knew it was going to be my own testimony to myself. Testimony to myself. I knew that this would allow me to literally witness the power that I had inside of me, myself. And it's so funny because living like that, for a certain number of weeks, um, not knowing became very interesting because it definitely created new neural networks within my brain. And imagine speaking to someone and every time, like, the character didn't have a face and all you could see was yourself and the other. Or you could feel where the energy is, or you could see where the energy is. All you could see was the frequencies and the vibrations. It felt like a different kind of dream. When you're in the, astral plane and sometimes you don't see people's face, but you can sense it, right? You can like sense the energy behind it. It's kind of like that. That was like my whole life. And I knew it was something that I didn't announce. It was a truth that I would discover within myself. I feel like that's what you're coming into because spirit showed me resonance, right? It showed me resonance. It being in resonance with this message, it being in resonance with what you are going to be experiencing if you choose to see life through this lens. And it's a very beautiful lens to have. It's just a clear knowing. And it's not to be explained, it's something to be experienced. And that is sacred. And that is divine. And it's because you're tuning in with the divine essence that exists within all things. Yes, multiple frequencies in this multidimensional plane that you're existing in, a lot of energies that you're filtering through, but all different variations, subdivisions, extensions, manifestations of the one, the all. All is one and one is all. When you're alone with the all. Even when it feels like you never really are. under the illusion of separation. Just to be able to experience that reunification while still being under the illusion of separation, you know? It's different. You see this construct very, very differently. And I'm hearing there are undeniable experiences that are going to be playing out in your reality to the point where you're going to be like focusing on, what am I trying to tell myself through the form of another? What am I trying to show myself through another version of me? I'm hearing that's where you start seeing cryptic guides. That's where the fool that's where the fool like embarks on this journey, right? He meets all these different kind of characters. And in the end, in the world card, right, where he lives the human condition and he looks at life through the lens of the soul, he realizes it was all him. With masks. And it's when the ego gets like, it's like you were a natural multidimensional being, you know, you're interdimensional. You were supposed to shapeshift through all the characters. Innately. It's all me attached to it. Like, I am just a high priestess. I am just the 𝓬𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓽. I am just the magician. You know, it's like that energy. I am just a Cancer. I am just an Aries. I am just, you know, like this game of duality, polarity that we're playing in order to be able to experience soul growth through contrast. It's brilliant, isn't it? The way the system's designed. But those are just my thoughts. Subject to this universe. So yeah, I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. Yeah. I'll speak to you very, very soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. And also check out 𝓬𝓪 if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. They're beautiful, small family handcraft, beautiful, beautiful gemstones, many for you to choose from. They do far more variations than just bracelets. But you have that down below as well. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Until next time. Bye.